I have a 1990 Ford Probe with a manual stick shift. There's a lot of play in the shifter, so I'm going to try to change the bushings under the car. So here's the shifter. It's in third gear now, but you could see there's a lot of play in there. So I'm going to get under the car and see where the bushings are broken. So down here, I'm underneath the car. I'm right underneath the stick shift. I've moved the bar, and I found that the bushings right underneath the stick shift are fine. They're not messed up. So I'm going to go towards the front of the car, where this bushing, where this pipe meets the transmission. So right here is where the connecting rod meets the transmission for the stick shift. And if I move this, you can see there's all kinds of play in here. So I think the bushings are shot. So I'm going to take out this nut and bolt and see if I can get a new set of bushings for this. Here's what the connection looks like while the nut and bolt is still in it. Here's what the connection at the transmission side looks like once I've removed the shift arm as well as the nut and bolt. This is without the bushings in it. So I got the new bushings from a eBay dealer that sells these Ford parts. So for the Ford Probe 1990, it's the part number for these bushings is E7GZ-7A133-A, and inside this pouch is 2 bushings, and we're going to try to put those on. So here's the connection where the shift arm, which is right here, the shift arm will connect to the transmission. Here's my bushing, and this is going to just press right in here. It actually fits very nicely. And the other one I'm going to put on the top here. So now I've got both bushings, top and bottom, pushed onto the connection at the transmission, and I'm going to put the shift arm back on there now. That'll sit like that, and then I'm going to put the bolt right in from top to bottom. Okay, so I've got the bolt going from top to bottom here, connecting the shift rod to the transmission connector. I'm going to put this nut on here. I'm going to use a adjustable jaw on the top and a socket wrench on the bottom to tighten this up. I don't know how much pressure to put this. I'm not going to tighten this really tight, I think, because then you probably won't be able to move the shift. So I'm just going to snug it with the socket lightly, and then we'll test it. So now I got the nut attached to the bottom here, and as you can see, there's very little play in here. So these bushings really made a big difference in the way this gets connected. So let's check it out up top. So finally, here's my stick shift, and as you can see, if I throw it into gear, there's still a little play, but that's from the other bushing that I haven't changed. But this is a big improvement from what it was originally. There's still a little play, but as far as the bushing that I changed, there really was no play there, and this made a big difference.